Welcome to our fifth, and I'm really excited that we get to have with us Ritika, a friend of mine and also a colleague in English, and she's a creative writer, and she also has an amazing way of expressing herself with lots of beautiful things and also poetry. So I'm so thankful for you, and is Ritika.
Thank you, Eileen. Hi, everyone, and I'm really happy to be able to share a little piece of my creativity and my writing with you. Last year, I was able to visit this writing workshop, a Kenyan Review Writers Workshop for teachers, and there I learned a really, really interesting writing exercise. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. So, firstly, this writing exercise, when we think about writing, it's all about discovery, and it's about discovering yourself, discovering the people around you and the world around you. So that's why I really enjoy writing. And this activity is kind of similar to that, where you're discovering something. The activity is called Writing Territories, and it's an activity that I learned at this workshop. So you need something to draw with. Could be pen, pencil, if you have any plain paper, that would be great. I actually, for this exercise, have used a large sheet of paper, and that works too. The second part of this exercise is where you will need paper to write. So make sure that you have like a notebook or, yeah. So first off, let's start with the drawing activity. So when you're working with the writing territories, you're actually going to map out a territory. And what we're going to do today is your neighborhood. So you want to have a bird's eye view of your neighborhood. And here I'll just give you an example of something that I created. Stand up and here is my neighborhood territory. It's not exactly because it's a hillside, so it's a bit harder to have that top view. But once you view, you actually can add in a lot more information about your neighborhood. So here, I'll just kind of talk you through what I have done. So for this, I've kind of laid out all areas of my neighborhood. This is in Missouri, where I spent a lot of time. So when you're thinking about your neighborhood, you also want to pick you have spent a lot of time in. And then what you do is once you start mapping out, you can start off with buildings, but don't just focus on building. Start thinking about special places of significance, where you spend a lot of time. You can use symbols like here, got the playground, but then the hopscotch, so I know, and some swings. I also added in this one area, with water tanks, and spent a lot of time there, and I added some purple flowers because we used to eat them for some reason. But anyway, so those kind of things. So you want to use as many details as possible. You want to use symbols and think about places that have significance to you. So here, you can pause the video if you'd like, just to take some time to sketch out your drawing of your territory. And once you're done, one of the things that's really helpful is to actually walk someone through that territory. A friend, if you're at home, walk your family through that territory, through the neighborhood, and show them those special places, show them and tell them about the different events and incidences that have taken place in your neighborhood. So really bring your neighborhood to life. So once you have your neighborhood down, that's where you add those details, those little symbols or ideas on your map, and that will really help you come up with stories about place, about your home, about your neighborhood, and a lot of it has to do with about yourself. So here we're going to I'm going to give you some writing prompts. So as you're looking at your map, you can think about the ideas. So based on these writing prompts, you can think about what ideas or what stories could you be telling others through your writing. So Eileen, if you could show that list. Okay, so I'm just going to read through some of them. So when you're thinking about your story, what you want to write based on this map, think about these things. All right, so look at your map. So take out your map again and look at what a place where you learned a lesson, where you played a game, where you got hurt, where you proved a skill, where a dare occurred, scary place, secret place, a place with lots of laughter, a place only older kids went, a place only for little kids, a place that felt like home, dangerous place, a place you got stuck, a place that looks totally different, place that has stayed the same. So these are lots and lots of different ideas. After think about every single one of them, but pick out one or two that you would like to write about based on your map. So when I looked at my map, and when I was looking at my writing territory, the one thing that caught my eye as I was, walking my partner through my neighborhood and telling my stories of this place, I actually stopped at my hopscotch symbol. So there I thought, actually, I have a pretty good story for a hopscotch. And so I'll share with you in just a moment what that story was. But another thing, when you're looking through these writing prompts, you also want to not just write about anything, but you want to write about an indelible moment. An indelible moment is a memory that stays with us forever. That's why it's called indelible. It cannot be erased. It stays with you. So one tip is to actually write down all the indelible moments. So based on your map, so here you can pause the video again to just look at or write down or jot down some of these indelible moments. As you look through the map, look through those indelible moments and make a list. Once you have made the list, you can then, it'll become easier to actually narrow down a story that you want to write about. And that's what I did, and that's how I picked the hopscotch as my indelible moment. So I'm going to give you the example of my indelible moment. I'm just going to actually read. It's supposed to be light and humorous, so I hope you enjoy it. So here we go. Hopscotch games. White lines painted against the gray, a rock thrown, a jump made. 1, 2, 3, and on we go. Don't step on the lines. You're out. You missed. My turn. A simple game brought the girls together. Sometimes the boys would play with them, but they were far more invested in Foursquare. After school was the best time of day. The baker would set up his trunk of goodies under the staircase leading up to the art room. Students, young and old, would find their way to the baker's trunk and pick out their favorite afternoon snack. Green and pink mint candies, red chili chips, chocolate glazed donuts, or fresh, soft, sweet buns. Tanya and I took a bread Tanya and I took a break from hopscotch and walked over to the baker. His trunk was open to. He sat on a woven mat on the ground with an array of goodies neatly displayed at his feet. We both picked out the softest bun from the trunk and headed back to our game. I stood by the railing, waiting for my turn, nibbling on the bun, one small bite at a time. I wanted to make it last as long as possible. A short while later, Tanya looked at me and gasped. I wondered what surprised her. She pointed at something next to me. I turned to my left, and there it was, a monkey, balancing on the railing. And without a moment to lose, the monkey reached out to snatch the bun out of my hand. I was mid-bite. The monkey didn't care. It wanted the bun. The monkey missed, but got my cheek and finger. In fright, I tossed the bun over my head. Did I scream? I don't know. But I ran, away from the bun, away from the monkey. Tanya took me to the health clinic where my mom was on her afternoon shift. I ran to her and showed her my face. A little scratch there. I showed her my finger. A little scratch there too. What happened? My mom asked. I said, a monkey took my bun. So that was my little indelible moment, a story that emerged from this activity, from this writing territory activity. And so, yeah, you can actually, once you have the indelible moment, you can actually write a short story like I did, a narrative, or you could even write a poem based on that. So it's up to you, whatever style you like to write in. Pick that, which is comfortable. Yeah, so there you have it, and hope you can get writing and share some creative stories and some poetry with us as well. That's it for me.
Thank you so much for the activity, and yeah, and I'm just so glad that we get to share this passion for creativity, and I that this is hearing, and that you can use this in your class, and just to get yourselves and thinking about those moments that are. So until next time, have a great week.